Hi, I'm Erick Schonfeld, co-editor of TechCrunch, and welcome to Fly or Die, our new show where we review 3 products and give a verdict about whether we think the products will fly or die in the long term. With me, I've got the co-editor of Crunch Gear, John Biggs, who is actually joining us from CES in Las Vegas. Hi, John. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm actually on the show floor right now. We're at the Venetian at the pre-events embargo. There's a lot of embargoed stuff going on right now. So we're taking a look at Monster. We're taking a look at Sharp. We're taking a look at Casio. A few other items. So we have one brand new item and a few other interesting items.
Right. One of them is the Trix, which is one of the items we're going to be talking about today. But let's start. So the 3 items we're going to talk about today is the Windows 7 phone, the Trix, the new Casio Trix camera, which is a very interesting form factor, and the Flipboard iPad app, which is sort of a new way to consume information on your iPad. So let's start with Windows 7. I think that this is sort of a reboot for Microsoft for their mobile operating system, and we've just recently started to see phones coming out, and I actually like it. It has a slightly different UI and feel than the iPhone or the Android, whereas Android and iPhone have this app metaphor where you have these little icons and you click on them for apps. The UI for the Windows 7 phone is more of a tile metaphor, something that actually we're seeing a lot more in iPad apps like Flipboard, as we'll see later on, where you have a tile with some information and it updates in real time. And you can see sort of a lot of real-time information coming right to your phone. Everything zooms away. It's really nice fit and finish. I think it's got good integration with Facebook right into your contacts. The only thing I don't like really is the browser. I think is a little bit disappointing. What do you think, John?
I would agree wholeheartedly. I think what you said about it not being similar to the iPhone and Android is almost untrue, because basically this is a complete reboot of the Windows mobile operating system. It's called Windows Phone 7 now. It's a completely new operating system, and it looks and feels like something entirely new. And the important thing to consider is that this is no longer just a business operating system. For years and years and years, Winmo, basically what they called it, was the research in motion sort of BlackBerry of its time. And it has a massive install base, and there are actually people upset right now because they can't use the applications that they programmed on their Windows Mobile 6 on their Windows Phone 7 devices.
Right. I think the key here is going to be the applications. I think they've done a good first effort on the UI and on the OS, but whether or not they can get developers to create great apps for the phone is going to really dictate whether it has appeal to consumers. But I think that they do have some advantages in that they can really stuff the channel, right? I think they already shipped 1.5 million of these phones, and that's shipped to the retailers, not necessarily sold to consumers. And also they have the Xbox connection, so that they have a leg up on games, I think.
Yeah, I think anecdotally, I've heard of a lot of people who haven't upgraded their iPhones are actually moving over to Winfo, I guess you could call it, and it's tentatively I'm down on the operating system and down on the operating system initially, because I think it's a little too late right now for these folks. But if they can iron out a lot of the problems that business folks are having with these devices, I think they're going to have a hit on their hands. And the UI is great. People want something fresh and something new. And if you've been using Windows Mobile 6 for years and years and years, and you go to this, it's just a sea change. It's something completely different.
So are you going to give it a fly or die? What's your verdict?
I mean, it's Microsoft, so I can't give it a unequivocal die. I would say it's a die as it stands right now. Next couple weeks, next couple months, you're going to see some updates. You're going to see some changes. So let's say a tentative die with an obvious success rate throughout its life cycle.
Okay, I'm going to give it a fly, just because you can never count out Microsoft, and I think for a first rev for a Microsoft product, it looks great. Usually they don't get it right until the 3rd try, and now they're doing, I think this is definitely a lot better than say the first Zune. So I'm going to give it a fly. I think over time, they're not going to give up.